Hey, Internet, Eric here. If it's Sunday and if you follow my channel on the regular, you know I only upload on Sundays to celebrate Bloody Sunday. And what that is, it's a concept created by my friend Corey over at the King Gore channel. What that is you just take a death from any type of medium, movies, TV show, comic books. I'm doing one of those soon, and just discuss it. And it's Mother's Day. You know, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. And in poor taste, I'm going to discuss the death of a mother character in a film. I've discussed the death of a mother character once, I believe, at least once. It was the Mrs. Voorhees character in the original Friday the 13th. And if you've seen the title below, you know I'm going to be discussing a death from Scream 2. And also, if you know the Scream franchise, they are murder mysteries, so watch at your own risk. But then again, you've had over 25 years to have it spoiled for you. I'm going with Mother's Day, and like with Mrs. Voorhees, I'm a sucker for a vengeful mother, so I'm discussing the death of the character of Debbie Salt, also known as Debbie Loomis, the mother of Billy from Part 1. So, context-wise, it's Scream 2. Sydney is now at college, the years after the first incident. She's being stalked, blah, 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 blah. Context for this movie at the end is the reveal of we have two killers. One of the killers revealed is Mickey, the creepy Tarantino film student, and the other is Debbie Salt, who is faking the fact that she's pretending to be a news reporter, National Enquirer, something like that. It's been a while. I won't get too much into the final chase sequence and battle sequence because I will discuss this franchise soon. However, it is fantastic. I love the fight scene between Sydney and Debbie. All the things that go into it. However, we're getting to the actual death itself. Debbie is going to kill Sydney. They are fighting. Debbie's trying to plunge a knife into Sydney's heart, and they are stopped by Cotton Weary. If you know Cotton Weary, he served a year in prison because he was falsely accused of the murder of Sydney's mother. Now, Cotton has them at gunpoint. Debbie Salt is behind Sydney, knife to her throat. Debbie is trying to convince Cotton that he will be the star because Cotton's role in the second film is he's trying to gain fame and fortune over being wrongly accused of the murder of Sydney's mom. He just can't get that interview with Diane Sawyer. With Sydney, she keeps turning him down. He just wants his recognition. And Debbie is convincing him, saying, you know what? Come on, we can kill her. There'll be only one victim. Debbie Salt doesn't exist. You'll be the hero, Cotton. Blah, blah, blah. And Cotton is thinking to himself, you know what? Sydney, she's making a lot of sense. I could do this. Let's think about that. And then he also looks at her and he says, that Diane Sawyer interview sounds pretty good right about now. And Debbie might not be listening, or she must not be paying attention. Because she's still got that psychotic look on his face. Laurie Metcalf as Debbie Salt is fantastic. I've always been a fan of Laurie Metcalf from Roseanne. She is great when she does those meltdown scenes. So she's great at playing a psychotic figure here. I guess there was a stage version of Misery with Bruce Willis as Paul Sheldon, and Laurie Metcalf was Annie Wilkes. I'd kill to see that, pun intended. Anyways, she's behind Sydney, knife to her throat, and then Sydney says, "Consider it done," saying that we're going to do the Diane Sawyer interview. Cotton shoots Debbie. They both fall down, Sydney and Debbie. Sydney gets up. We don't know if Debbie's dead yet because we know the whole trope of they come back for one last scare. That was even mentioned in the first film when not Stu, Billy got up and, did this whole, and then shot in the head. Well, they do the gimmick, but instead it's Mickey, who was already taken out. He was shot by Debbie, and her whole plan was to place all the blame on him. Well, Debbie shows up. Gail is already there. She shows up. She was shot by Debbie, fell down. They're on a stage. They're on a stage because there was a play going on, type of thing, for the college. Mickey pops up because he's the one that's not truly dead. Boom, boom, boom. Gail and Sydney shoot him dead. And just to be safe, Sydney walks over and plants a bullet in the forehead of Debbie Salt, Mrs. Loomis. That's it. I'm a sucker for a vengeful mother. I love those type of characters. Laurie Metcalf is so good in this. I love, like I said, I'm going to get into it more when I actually dive into the franchise. She's great at being this kind of weird, out of place reporter. It's pretty obvious she's involved, and then when that switch is flipped, especially when Billy is trash talked at the end, she loses it. It's great. So, sucker for a vengeful mother. She is definitely gone. There's no way she's coming back. Kind of like Stu, people. Get used to it. But that's it. Wanted to give Laurie Metcalf some praise, as this Scream 2 is my favorite of the franchise. Mrs. Loomis is my favorite Ghostface, and I wanted to give her some props on this Mother's Day because, like I said, I love a vengeful mother in a horror movie. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Tell me, what do you think of Mrs. Loomis as a Ghostface, as a vengeful mother killer, or vengeful mother character? Laurie Metcalf in general. What do you think of the Scream franchise? What do you think of Scream 2? Yada, yada, yada. Happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. I know it's a tough job. I am a parent myself, and I know what my wife does to help take care of our child. Sometimes it's a thankless job, but you are appreciated. Even if you're a little off your rocker, like Mrs. Loomis. All jokes aside, happy Mother's Day. Like, subscribe, click the bell, all that jazz. Mom, relax. Put your feet up. You've earned it. Cheers.